Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. English channel, a place where we believe that learning a language isn't just about textbooks. It's about finding your voice and connecting with the world. I'm Emma.
And hello to you, Emma, and a huge warm welcome to every single person listening today. It is truly wonderful to be here with all of you.
Hi, Noah. How are you feeling today? You look like you're carrying a little extra sparkle in your eyes this morning.
I'm doing great, Emma. Thank you. I think it's because I'm just so excited about our topic. It feels, important, like something that can really change a person's day.
Oh, it absolutely is. We're diving into the heart of communication. But before we get ahead of ourselves, friends, if you find hope and inspiration in our stories, please don't forget to subscribe to the Mr. and Mrs. English channel.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this conversation, please click that like button and share our podcast with your family or that friend who is also on this journey. It helps us reach more hearts, and it truly means the world to us.
It really does. So, Noah, are you ready to get started?
I'm more than ready, Emma. My coffee is hot and my heart is open. What is our focus for today?
Today, we are talking about daily routines and real-life conversations. We're moving into day 13 of our journey together, and we're going to look at how to make 99 useful sentences feel as natural as breathing.
99 sentences? That sounds like a lot, Emma. But I know you. You have a way of making the mountain feel like a beautiful walk in the park.
Exactly. Because, Noah, have you ever had that feeling where you understand everything someone says, but when it's your turn to speak, your mind just goes blank? You know the words are in there, hiding somewhere, but they just won't come out.
Oh, Emma, you're speaking right to my soul. It's like a freeze. I felt it so many times. It's frustrating, isn't it? To have all these beautiful thoughts trapped inside because you're afraid of a little mistake?
It's so common, Noah. We think too much. We try to translate every little word in our heads instead of just letting the feelings flow. Today, we're going to fix that. We want English to feel automatic. We want it to be a part of you, like a favorite song you don't even have to think about to sing.
I love that. Automatic. So where do we start this song?
Let's start with the morning. Think back to a few hours ago. Noah, tell me, what did you do this morning?
Well, let me try. This morning, I wake up at 7. Then I brush my teeth and I eat breakfast.
I understood you perfectly, Noah. Your story is clear. But can I give you a small gift? A little tip to make it even more fluent?
Please, I'm all ears.
You used the present tense, wake, brush, eat. But since your morning has already happened, it's now a memory. We use the past tense to honor those moments. Try saying, I woke up, I brushed, and I ate.
Ah, of course. Let me try that again, with the feeling of the memory. I woke up at 7, then I brushed my teeth and I ate breakfast.
Perfect. Do you hear how much more natural that sounds? It's like you're inviting me into your morning. And tell me, what did you have for breakfast? I'm imagining something delicious.
I had bread with butter and a cup of coffee. It was quiet and very peaceful.
I had bread with butter. Noah, you just used the past tense without even thinking. That is progress. That is the automatic feeling we're looking for.
Really? I didn't even notice.
That's the goal. When you practice enough, the grammar starts to take care of itself, leaving you free to just be yourself. You said the coffee was good, right?
Yes, it was. I love coffee. I drink it every morning.
Look at you. You're mixing the past It was with your current habits. I love and I drink perfectly. This is what I want everyone watching to see. Noah made a tiny slip at the beginning, but he didn't let it stop him. He kept going. Friends, please, don't let a small mistake be a wall. Let it be a stepping stone.
That makes me feel so much better, Emma. I used to be so shy. I used to think my friends would laugh if I stumbled over a word.
That fear is so real for so many of us. But Noah, think about this. True friends don't laugh at your growth. They celebrate it. Communication isn't about being a walking dictionary. It's about connection. It's about sharing your soul, your ideas, and your day. That is so true. It's like a game of tennis, isn't it? You hit the ball to me, I hit it back. It's a rhythm. I love that analogy. A tennis game. Back and forth, back and forth. Let's play a little. Imagine I'm your friend at a cafe. Ask me about your day. Okay, Emma, how was your day? My day was really lovely, Noah. I spent the morning teaching, which always fills my heart, and then I had a quiet lunch. How about you? How was your day?
It was good too. I worked and then I spent some time with this podcast to practice my English.
See, that was a real conversation. Natural, simple, and honest. Now, Noah, let's dream a little. What is something you're looking forward to? Something that makes you excited for the future?
Oh, actually, next month I'm going to visit my cousin. He lives in another city and I haven't seen him for a long time. We used to play together every summer when we were children. I really miss him.
That is beautiful. I haven't seen him for a long time, and we used to play. You're using some very advanced English there, Noah, and it sounds so heartfelt. Quality time with family is a treasure.
It really is. But Emma, I have to confess, as much as I love dreaming about the trip, the actual traveling part makes me nervous. What if I get to the train station and I can't even buy a ticket?
I hear you. The train station can feel like a busy, overwhelming place. But let's practice it right here, in this safe space. Imagine you're at the counter. You want to go to Manchester to see that cousin of yours.
Okay. I walk up and I say, I want to buy a ticket.
That's clear, but let's add a touch of grace to it. In English, we often say, I'd like instead of I want. It's a bit more polite, a bit more like an invitation to help.
I see. Like a gentle request. I'd like to buy a ticket to Manchester, please.
Much better. Now, would you like a one-way ticket or a round-trip ticket?
Wait, let me remember. A one-way is just going there, right? Like starting a new adventure?
Exactly.
And a round trip, or a return ticket as they might say in the UK, is for when you're coming back home. So since I'm coming back, I'd like a round trip ticket, please.
Perfect. And how would you like to pay? Cash or card?
By card, please.
There you go. You've done it. You've navigated the station, paid for your journey, and you're on your way. Not so scary, right?
Not at all. It feels empowering.
That feeling is what we call confidence. It's believing in your ability to handle the situation. And the more we repeat these phrases, like, what time is the next train? Or can I pay by card? The more we build muscle memory. It's not just your brain learning. It's your mouth and your voice getting comfortable with the sounds.
Muscle memory. Like learning to ride a bike.
Exactly. So let's give our listeners a few powerful phrases they can take with them today. Friends, repeat these after us. Let the words feel familiar in your mouth.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I'd like to buy a ticket, please.
I'd like to buy a ticket, please.
When is the next train?
When is the next train?
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost?
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much for everything.
Beautiful. I hope everyone listening felt the strength in their own voice just now. Before we go, Noah, I want to share 5 little golden rules, tips that I've seen transform the lives of thousands of students.
I'm listening closely, Emma. I think we all are.
Tip number 1, don't translate in your head. I know it's hard, but try to think directly in English. Start small. I'm hungry. The sun is bright.
That makes so much sense. Translating feels like taking the long way home.
Exactly. Tip 2, speak out loud every day, even if you're just talking to your cat or yourself while making coffee. I'm adding sugar now. It builds that confidence.
I can do that. I'll start tomorrow morning with my coffee.
Tip 3, don't be afraid of mistakes. Every mistake is a teacher in disguise. Even native speakers stumble. Just keep speaking.
I'm going to try to remember that. Mistakes are just part of the story.
Tip 4, keep it simple. You don't need fancy words to be understood. You don't need to say, I am exceedingly famished, when I'm very hungry works perfectly.
That's a relief. Simple is better.
And finally, tip 5, practice with real situations, just like we did with the train station. Imagine your life in English, and soon your life will be in English.
Emma, I feel so much more inspired than when we started. We've covered so much, from morning routines to buying tickets, and most importantly, how to feel.
I am so proud of you, Noah, and of everyone who stayed with us today. Remember, learning English is a journey. Some days will feel like a celebration, and some days might feel a little frustrating. But if you keep showing up, I promise you, it gets better.
It really does. I used to be so scared, but now I feel like I can actually do this.
You can do this. So here is your homework, friends. Try to use one thing you learned today in your real life. Leave a comment and tell us about it. We read every single one, and we love hearing your stories.
We really do. Stay motivated, keep practicing, and most importantly, believe in the power of your own voice.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you for day 7.
Goodbye, take care, and happy learning.